Flooded up a bit of younger water. Hey, hey, hey. Tattoos will never fade. At least scars will make sense. Some things will never change. Some things will never change. No. Never change now. No. Oh. Yeah. Farewell, my friend. I'm just wishing I could turn back time. Yeah, I've been lost in my head. Yeah, why the good die young? I'm stressing every day and night. I pop the pain pill just to chill. Don't you know the pain's real? How could you let the drugs take over? Now it's really over. Heart's getting colder. Stolen road. Tugging behind me, I'm mashing the gas. I've been living life too fast. They say I might be the next one to go. Well, life ain't fair anyway. I don't care anyway. Yeah. I will trade places with you any day. 'Cause you don't deserve this, no. Don't deserve no. Oh. Tattoos in my face, but these scars may say some things will never change now. No, should've been friends. I'm losing it. R.I.P. to my brother. No.
Hello, everyone. Tonight I'm going to be talking about grief. That song was made by one of my son's friends that also has a drug addiction. And my son's death hit him pretty hard. So this was his way to tribute to my son, Juan, aka Teddy Bear. That was his way of tribute, and he created a song for him. So that is a song that was created for my son. Tonight, if I lose you, I'm sorry. I have a storm that's coming through, and I was on the phone earlier with a friend that I haven't talked to her in a while, and she just uplifted some of my spirit that needed to be uplifted. So thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate it. I can say her name because she's not on YouTube. Let me share my screen here because there's no greater pain in this world to when you lose a child. I want to go to gallery. Let me see the entire screen. No. I wanted to put a picture of my son up here. I don't know if I can do that. Hold on a minute. Let me go over here to photos and then I will start talking. If I know where my photos are at. I would have thought that I would have had this done. There we go. Photos. Go to photos. Okay. Now, let me see if I can share a screen. Hello, Jay-Z Joe. Jay-Z Joe. Then you have share. Well, that didn't come up. No, that's not the one. I'm trying here, so please deal with me. I can just get it here on Facebook. Yeah. Let's down. Go over here. Over here. And go to my photos. I should have had this done. I know I should have, and I'm sorry. This isn't what I need right here. Albums. I don't want to show everything on my photos. No. Oh, Lord have mercy. There we go, right here. Okay. Alright, there we go. This is my son, Teddy Bear. That's my boy. And I lost him 11/16/2021 due to someone. He was experimenting. He's never tried drugs a day in his life except for marijuana, which I don't consider that a drug. But he had never tried any drug in his life. And some of the people he hung around did heroin, cocaine, and other things. I tried to keep him away from it, but he wanted to experiment. So his first time ever trying a drug of hard sorts ended up taking his life. What he thought he was being sold cocaine ended up being pure fentanyl, and I lost my son on 11/16/2021. He went to sleep and he never woke up. It by far has been one of the hardest journeys that I have been on in my life. I'm a very strong person. Now, a lot of people who know me on personal levels know just how strong I am, things that I do. I moved mountains, I moved seas for my kids, and I will do it all over again. But this one here, losing a child, you're not ever prepared for losing a child. No parent is. It don't matter if the child is an embryo. It don't matter if that child is 50 years old. No parent is prepared for it. The grief that comes along with losing a child, it changes a person. It don't matter how strong of a person you are or what you once was. That strength is gone. It's like you sit in a limbo. You know you've got to go forward to live because you've got other children that are there. You have to go forward to live, but you can't. You It's like you're in a dark abyss. And how do you explain it? You're up and you're walking, but your nose is dragging on the ground. You present yourself to people as being strong, but you're not really strong at all. You're numb inside, and I know it's been 19 months, but it feels just like yesterday that I lost a child. You don't ever get over grief. I guess they say it gets easier. They did put me on medication, so the medication has made it easier, but it hasn't made me forget how hard it is to grieve. It's like a ship on a rocky sea. That's how you feel. You feel like you're on the ship and you're in this rocky ship, and it feels like it's taking on water, and you feel like you're drowning and you're drowning, and you bail so much water out and you level the ship back out, and then again that ship starts to take on water. It's like your seas. They're choppy seas. Your waters are always choppy. It's like you don't ever have a good time no more or no longer. You're you're in a state of depression. Like I was just talking with my friend, I told her, I said, can you even get PTSD from a telephone? The ringer of a telephone, because me personally hearing my phone ring, oh man, I just lost the electric. I hope my Wi-Fi didn't go out. Sorry, my electric went out. I am having a storm go through, so if it happens again, I'll just try to end the live stream before it happens again. Hello, Daisy Joe, Sarah, and Writing Solo. Hope you guys are doing great tonight. Sorry about that. I am. Now I lost my train of thought. Let me share my screen and put a picture back up of my son. There we go. What I was talking about was being like on a ship and how grief is and what grief does to a person. It's not fun. It changes you. It changes the person that you are or who you have become. Sometimes, most of the time right now, I don't even like looking in the mirror. Because I go through the would have, could have, should have's. Could I have saved my son? Should I have taught him better? Could I have been there more? If I would have done anything different, would it have changed his outcome? So the would have, could have, should have's, they eat you alive. They eat me alive. And I've got 6 kids. He's number 5, but number 4 are my boys. He's the baby of my boys, so losing him. And don't get me wrong, I love all my children the same. Oh, Writing Solo, I'm so sorry. That's such a precious error. My heart goes to you. My heart is with you. The pain, it's always there. A lot of people, even through grief share, they're like, it gets easier. Your pain will get easier. It doesn't get easier. You wake up every day, and every day you relive that moment. You relive your child. You have nothing but memories left of that child, and all you do is have memories. You cannot make no more memories with them here because they're not here no longer. So he was at that ripe age where it was time for him to settle down with a job, get married, have kids. I will never get that from him. This is one child that I will never get any of that. I will never be a grandparent from him. And that really hurts my heart. I'll never be able to see where he goes in life, or if he becomes a family man, or if the dreams that he had in store, if he would ever accomplish them. And he had good dreams. He would write lyrics like you couldn't believe some of his writings. He's just a good-hearted child, and he would write from his heart, his pain. And I'm like, man, you could turn these into songs because they were just so good. And the song that I played at the beginning, one of his friends had made that song, that came from pain, a place from his heart. So, I just wanted to come up and talk about grief. Oh, Writing Solo. My heart is with you. I know with an infant child that is the hardest loss, especially being an infant child. And there's always going to be the would have, could have, should have's. Always. It's like a roller coaster. Some days you're good, some days you're not so good. Some days you're barely holding on and barely breathing, and some days you're able to function. But most of the time, I'm an introvert, so most of the time I close into myself. Oh, Sam, I'm so sorry. I haven't experienced that yet. I still have my parents. I haven't experienced that feeling yet, but I know that the time is coming, and I don't know how I would be able to handle it, losing my parents. My heart is with you as well. And I know that most of us out here in this world, we've lost the loved one. We've lost aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, moms, dads, and children. And how do you handle your grief? Everybody tells me there's no time limit, but in the same breath, they tell me it's time to move on. So, is there a time limit? Is there not a time limit? What are you supposed to do? How are you supposed to act? Where are you supposed to be? Like I said, it's only been 19 months since I lost my boy. And I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing. I have no idea. I know I want to create a legacy for my son. I want to help other children. Um, it's raining hard out. I want to create a legacy for my son, to help other children out there so that no other parent has to feel this type of pain that's on the inside. It's a pain that's so unimaginable. There are no words to describe it. There just are none. Even to this day, I have not been able to think of a word to describe how I feel inside. You feel like you're just falling into an abyss, and I know it's depression. Without a doubt, us parents that have lost a child, we go into depression. Doesn't mean that we're mental. It doesn't mean that we have mental problems. It just means that we've suffered trauma in our lives, and our trauma is that we've lost our children to whatever circumstances it may be. We've lost a child. How do we move on? How do we take those baby steps? I mean, are you supposed to let people hold your hand? Or because I'm a very independent woman, so I like to hold my own hand. And granted, I was very blessed to have people there to hold me up at the very beginning, and then it was time for me to start walking on my own. But there's all these questions, and my biggest question will always be why. Why? And I know I'm not ever going to get an answer to why. I just know that I'm in my early 50s and I've had to bury a child, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do with myself now. And don't get me wrong, I still live for my other children. I still will move mountains and molehills. I will still drain the lakes and the oceans for my children. But it's like you're stuck in a world that you don't recognize no longer. that makes any sense at all. So this is why I ask people while I'm grieving to bear with me. To me, it's just like yesterday I lost my son. And it feels like yesterday I just lost my son. And it's been the hardest thing that's ever been put on my plate with losing a child. I never thought that I would be in this predicament with losing a child. And I'm just rambling because it's the stuff just coming off my head. And the lightning is starting to get bad out here, so I'm going to go ahead and call it a short live. I do want to say thank you to the ladies that came in, to the people who came in. Thank you. I just had to ramble for a moment. I hope you guys all have a beautiful evening. Thank you. Have a good night.